What you're seeing on the screen is what this player had to say for their review. I've been climbing, but I want to tighten up my game sense as I start regularly playing more seriously. Though why I want this specific game reviewed is I feel I wasn't getting the best use out of Star-Lord, such as fighting in his preferred range. I just want to be able to think more about what I could be doing instead and how to better position myself to get into his preferred range while also getting the picks that can help turn the battle. This is also the first hero shooter I've been playing with mouse and keyboard, so I also know my aim could use work, but I assume that'll tighten with time and practice. First things first, if you would like your game reviewed, head to the comment section. There's a highlighted comment. Reply to that comment with the instructions listed, and I'll tell you exactly how to get your review. All right, here we go for the Star-Lord gameplay. This is going to be a Silver 2 Star-Lord game. The purpose of these reviews, you guys know, I'm not nitpicking and criticizing everything. It's really just about the overall game knowledge. How can we improve as a player? And of course, as a viewer that you're watching, how can you improve too? How can you learn things and apply them to your gameplay so you can climb and start winning more games? So that's the main goal of these reviews. Let's go ahead and pop out. Let's see what we got. All right, you pop out, put some damage on the Punisher, you start running away. I actually really like this. I like the thought of attacking this threat. You walked out, surveyed the situation. You're like, I'm gonna go for the Punisher. Cool. What I dislike is the execution of which. You could have done this way better. There's a couple of things you could have done. So what we could have done is we could have shot him a little bit as he looked at us, go here, reposition, and maybe try to do something else to attack their team. Another thing you could have done was shoot him, and then once he looks at you, drop down and go into that little doorway down there. The other thing we could have done, and my most preferred thing in this situation, is going to be using this lip as cover. They don't have any flying characters or anybody sitting here, which means you're pretty free to do what you want and use this as cover from the people down below. Let's look at it from his perspective, and we'll see what I mean. This is going to be what he sees. When you watch replays back, look at other players' perspectives. Man, I'm telling you, it helps a lot. So you walk out, expose your entire body. He shoots you, and look, he's still shooting at you even though you're gone. This is really pretty much what you want. So when you're playing DPS, the main goal as a DPS player is to identify the threat for your team and then neutralize that threat. You identified the threat as the Punisher, which is great, good job, but now we have to think about how to neutralize it. If we look at it this way, is it better to neutralize the character by shooting him a little bit and then running away and trying to like do something crazy? Or is it better to neutralize it by hugging this lip, popping out, shooting him a little bit, once he looks at you, back up, so he shoots the wall, and then your team can hit him. Should he look back at your team, you hit him and destroy the turret. I think that, I think the latter is better, right? Using the lip as cover and just toying with him until the turret's broken. That is your main goal, and that's what we should have done. Again, I like your idea of trying to do it, it just wasn't executed well. You come back, and then you destroy the turret anyway. You did exactly what I just said you should do, but you just put way more steps into it than necessary. You wasted about 5 to 10 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds on this mode is crucial. Don't waste seconds for no reason. You could have the same exact game plan. Okay, we're going up here. Perfectly fine. I don't really mind it. Again, I know what you're trying to do, but the execution, don't really like. The way that your gameplay is, at least for the first few seconds, just noticing it, it's very one-dimensional. This isn't to say you're stupid. I'm sure you're extremely smart. But what I'm saying, gameplay-wise, it's very one-dimensional. This is how you're seeing the game right now, at least based off what I've seen so far. You start at point A, and then you see a threat. This is point B, and you head to point B. Threat neutralized. A good DPS player, a great DPS player, is going to say, okay, this is a threat. How do I get there? A to B to C to D. Threat neutralized. This is going to be how you're going to be way more impactful and being able to secure a lot more kills by being that creative, by taking these crazy angles, by approaching situations differently. You're going to have to view the game from like a different perspective other than just point A to point B. So you're going on to this Luna. Okay, trying to put some damage off. Luna's hard to kill. Don't worry if you don't even kill her. And you don't. She's just hard to kill. And we leave. 2 things wrong with this scenario. I'm going to talk on the first part first. So with this, we're going in. And what did we just say the main goal is as a DPS player? It's to find the threat and neutralize the threat. Let's go to the point before you jumped off. So it's right here after you reload. I would like to see you I would like to see you look around. If you look around, you probably would notice that these people are low and you could probably help them. Identifying the threat to your team, not just to one player. Luna right now, in the current position, even before shooting her, she was here. This is a threat to Thor, not a threat to your team. Where is your team? Let's see. Where are they positioned? Okay, these dudes are mega spread out. So, yeah, like that, not even a threat to anybody at this point. This means that you should be more focused on how can you impact this situation, because that's the current threat. You could be like, well, Poppin, you know, she's going to be a threat once I drop down. Yeah, she's going to be a threat to you. You are going to be soaking up that threat that would have been on your team. So no matter how you look at the situation, whether you go on Luna or you go on these guys, you are soaking the threat. You are literally preventing her from attacking your team. You're just doing it the more successful version over here, right? So I would not have liked to see you do what you just did. I would like to see you just drop down, do the little shoot spinny move. Don't say it in the comments. I don't want to hear anything. But do the little shoot spinny move and just destroy people. You can keep your boosters activated. So what you could do is you can do the shoot spinny move. You can even do it from here. Do the shoot spinny move and just kind of hover and float. It will hit them and you're safe. You're still floating in the air. They have to look up. You're distracting, etc., blah, blah, blah. Your team could probably clean up. The other thing that I want to mention here is the execution of this play. Never, and I say never, run into somebody and start spinning. Unless it's a situation like that, because you're not dropping on them and just shooting somebody. You'll get blown up. But in a situation like this, do damage first and then start spinning. There's two reasons for this. The first reason is whenever you do a spin, 99% of the time they're going to live with little HP and you're going to have to shoot them. It's very hard to do. You might as well get them low first and then do it, and they'll die to the AoE shots. The second reason this is important is because you can have bonus ammo. What you want to do is you want to approach them with your gun, run out of ammo, start doing your spin move. At the end of the spin move, flip, which will refill your ammo, and then you have 80 bullets instead of the 40, and then you're forced to like reload, and it's harder. You have a lot easier chance of cleaning up the fight. So this is why she lived. You could have played that a little bit better, and she could have. It's still hard to kill her, don't get me wrong, but you know, execution. I also do not like the fact that we are running away, but I do like the fact that we're getting our health pack. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. The reason why getting this health pack is important is because you're not relying on your healers to keep you alive. However, this is something that even high-ranked DPS do not factor in. You are gone. Let's see how long you are away from this fight. You dip out now. Okay, so you are gone for almost 10 seconds. If there was a team fight going on right here, your team lost if they needed you. Let's look at it from Luna's point of view. 10 seconds ago, you just decided to boom shakalaka her, right? And let's just see. The currency of your life, you got to think of your life as currency, right? Whatever you are expending, whatever you're getting taken away from your HP bar needs to be used properly. So you're using your HP bar right here to put some damage onto her. Cool, 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 cool. What does she do in that span of 10 to 15-ish seconds? Being full HP in less than a second, and she's fighting your team again. You accomplish nothing here. Nothing. This is something that is very, very important of a concept to learn early, so you're not getting stuck later. You cannot do that. You are MIA. No matter what role you are, no matter what character you are, if you do this, you're MIA from the fight. This is why it's very important for you not to go out there and just do crazy stuff like that. All right, you destroyed the clone. I love it. Let's, again, assess the situation. If we just moved our camera to the right, let's go to your point of view and move to the right. Oh, our team's way over there. Nothing we can do. You can just sit here and play with them. You can get creative, maybe get yourself in a better position like up here so they have to like turn and look at you, which effectively will create space for your team to push forward. But sitting here doesn't accomplish really anything, and I hope you don't go in because you're not going to be able to pull anything off. Let's see what you do. Again, you get low again for the span of those seconds, and then you regroup with your team. You have no HP pack, so you're just waiting for it. I like it. We go back, and your team's pushing. Your team's getting kills. Your team's going ham without you. They did all that without you. Imagine if your team sucked, man. Imagine if they were just the worst players ever. they wouldn't kill anybody. What if you were the only factor that could start carrying these games, but you're gone when you're needed? Oh, you're gone again. See how much you're gone? It's like a lot of what you're doing is just kind of touching them a little bit with a little bit of bullets, and then you just run away and like say, okay guys, I distracted. But you only distracted for as long as you were present. After you left, just a 6v5. I'd like to see you take more of a creative angle. That could be anything, really. I don't really care where it is. It's just, you shouldn't be with your team a lot. You can play Star-Lord in a lot of different ways, which is why I like him. You could be aggressive, offensive, basically just hanging out behind in the back line. Maybe something like right here. And as you see them walk in, shoot them from here. If you notice them walk towards you, get ready to shoot them in the face and then spin and kill them. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with Star-Lord. You can flank. You can play with your team if you really need to. In this scenario, it's not necessary. So you go up. I like this. This is kind of the same thing I was talking about. I don't think your lack of aim is like a problem. Like, I know you were talking about it being your first keyboard and mouse game. It's not aiming. You just kind of go in with no real reason as to why. If you approach every situation with a why I'm doing it, and not just the basic generic, I'm just trying to attack, I'm trying to distract. Go in with the why. Like, why am I like right now, why am I going in this direction? Well, I see Thor is fighting, so I thought we could pick up a few kills. They're sandwiched. Yeah, that's a great reason. Let's back this up. A little bit further. A little bit further when you went up there. Is it here? No, a little bit further back. Here we go. All right. So why am I going up there after you shooting this guy? I don't know, sightseeing? What are the... I'm trying... I can't even speak. What are the most commonly used areas to get to this section? It's this way, or around that way. Yes, they can come from the top, but 3 out of 4, you're going to be in a position to impact. Up here, not really. Right? If they're in here, you're not shooting them from there. If they're in here, you're not shooting them from there. Why are you putting yourself with a place with less angles, less opportunities? See? As I said, a lot of what you're doing is just doesn't really have a thought process behind it. Should you start thinking about what you're doing and why you're going for specific kills, you would start being more successful at the kills. You're just putting yourself in a position to go for very difficult kills, so it seems like, oh, I can't aim. It's not that. It's just for the fact that your kills are just very hard to get. That's all. Going on that Luna when she's specifically focusing you, she's fighting you 1v1. Why would you go for that instead of just going for a kill that's not looking at you at all? It's just a harder kill. Nothing has to do with your aim. I think aiming, especially in hero games, like not Call of Duty, but like hero strategy games, I think aiming is overrated. People focus on that too much, especially the DPS. Yes, you need to aim, but it wouldn't just be better to take uneven fights like that. Look at that. Oh, my aim is bad. Is it though? You just shot her and hit her with all the bullets. No, your aim is fine. It can obviously improve. I'm not trying to just say your aim is godlike, but all of our aim can improve. No one has perfect aim. But it could just definitely help by taking easier shots. I like this more. I like this angle more. You do understand I'm trying to just block this way from them coming, but just take better angles. It's just all, that guy is wild. This guy's like, I'm gonna sit right here. And then when they come, I'm gonna die. I gotta see what this guy does. But yeah, take better angles. You can take it here so you have cover. I think taking an angle here is better. Yeah, you could probably get shot from here, so just pay attention. But I think taking the angle here is better because they have to look at you, right? I think that's better. But just be more creative with the angles. What does the soldier do? Bro, I gotta put eyes on him. This guy's gaming. Bro, this guy's gaming! Look at him! That guy hid in that spot for about 10 seconds and then didn't do anything with being in that spot. Bro, I respect him. That guy's like, bro, what spot? Never use your ult until you know that the Luna and or person like Loki that's stealing it uses their ults first. They're just gonna negate your ultimate. Never do that. It's a hard thing to get down because I know you want to rip it as soon as you get it. But with Star-Lord, it's just such an easy thing to block, such an easy thing to avoid. You really have to time it better than that. Just a lot of regular gameplay. Nothing really happening. It's just the same thing on repeat. You go in with not really a purpose. You get low and then you just run away. Go in, get low, run away. Again, I like what you're doing here. It's awesome. But just take better angles. Why don't you just go up here? This is, my camera movement is jacked sometimes. Why don't you just go up here? Shoot them from here. Use this as cover. This forces them to do what? Turn their backs on your team and look at you. If they do that, they die. If they don't, you kill them, they die. They die in this situation because they're sandwiched. They have no other option. They have to either look at you or look at them. But when you're doing it from the side, you can look at both angles at the same time. Be more creative. It's really just that right now. Like, you might think you're messing up on a whole bunch of stuff, but sometimes the smallest thing can bring your whole gameplay together. You do reposition, but it's like in spots that don't really give you any significant advantage. Most of the time when you want to constantly reposition, you do it because you want to gain an advantage of some sort, not just repositioning to repositioning. Or repositioning for the sake of repositioning. So you're waiting for your team. I like it. You don't need to be here though. You could go up there, you can go around here, you could just play the map more. I think my advice to you is just play the map more. And be more active around the map. This is something that a lot of people struggle with because they don't really think about it that way. They just think about the path that the payload takes, but you can play the entire map. The only reason I'm not really saying too much is because it's the same thing over and over. It's the same few things. You go in without a reason. If you get low, you run away. Leave your team kind of forced to fight without you, right? If you reposition, it's not really to anywhere advantageous. It doesn't, sometimes it's disadvantageous sometimes. I like this. Oh, this is gaming. Again, it's like you're halfway there. Go this way. Oh, don't be afraid to flank. This is what we call flanking. If you come back here, they have to look at you or look at the team. This is going to be in a situation where when you do flank like that, you're going to be put in a position to where you have to 1v1. Right? Then it's up to you as being a good DPS player to beat that out. Like with that Luna as an example. The game will present you with a lot of 1v1s, and if you can take them out, you become a really good player. A really good DPS player to help open up opportunities. But if you fight 1v1 and then just run away because you got low, you didn't really accomplish anything for your team, and you just, you know. I know you said you flex, but let me tell you this. Flexing or playing a bunch of characters is not going to be how you climb. You need to pick one role and just stick with it for a while. The thing is, you're trying to learn how to play Marvel Rivals 3 different ways, and then you factor in different characters. You're trying to learn how to play Rivals 3 different ways, plus however many ways you decide to pick different characters. Sometimes you could be upwards of like 15 different ways to play the game. If you don't even understand the basic of how to play the game at any level, right? How are you going to be able to do it at all those other different levels? Does that make sense? And again, that's not to bash you or anybody in silver, anybody in gold. I don't think you have a firm grasp on Marvel Rivals until you're a diamond. So this is not a, oh, he's silver, this is, no. People in diamond, close to diamond, even in diamond sometimes, like low diamond. It's such a drastic change from low diamond players to like high diamond players. It's kind of crazy. But they do the same thing. It is not a silver problem. So anybody watching this thinking that it's a silver thing, it's not. The degree of which they do it is less frequent the higher you go, but it's still the same exact mistake. We try to play a whole bunch of different games and we don't understand how to play Marvel Rivals in general. Learn how to play Marvel Rivals. It's okay. Any tip videos saying that you need to play multiple roles to climb and you need to play multiple characters to climb, bro, I guarantee you, the people making those videos are already extremely good at the game. How can you follow advice of someone who's giving you advice of how they would climb when they're good? I myself started at the bottom. I climbed 3 roles intentionally with characters I have no clue how to play. To be in your shoes right now. And let me tell you, it is far easier one-tricking a character or one-tricking a role. I mean, I swapped because I already understood the game, but I'm just saying, I would swap to different characters that I don't know, learning them all at the same time. It is hard. I'm telling you, take it back. Don't flex. Play one role. If you have to play another role, okay. But I would just say play max 2 roles and majority play 1 role and then play 1 character. Maybe 2 if needed. Nice, that was intent. That's what happens when you do things with intent. It becomes a lot more clear and you secure a lot more kills. This is exactly why you should not be playing multiple roles, because that opportunity was obvious. But what happens to the opportunities that aren't obvious, but you have them there? They're there, but you don't see them because you don't play enough of a character or a role. Moving on to the next round, before we move on, of course, if you guys enjoy the content, if you guys are getting a lot of value out of the content, consider becoming a member of the channel by clicking that join button down below. Not only does it help support the channel and the content that I create, such as giving these free reviews for you and everyone else that decides to sign up, but you do get perks and stuff like that as well. So check that out. Again, consider becoming a member if you want to help support the channel. I really do appreciate it. And to those members that are already members and future members, thank you for being a member as well. Again, you guys are why I can even do stuff like this. So thank you so much for being who you are and helping out. All right, so moving into the next round, we're playing defense. Again, we've been just really doing the same thing over and over. And you might think like, oh, it's bad that I'm doing the same thing over and over. It's not, it's a good thing. To only replicate 1 mistake, bro, or sis, either or, is phenomenal, because that means it's very easy to fix it. And then once you do, you can move on. Some people have so many mistakes, it's hard to figure out how to fix one. So this is really good, but it's the same mistake. Going in, do a little damage for no reason, doesn't really have a goal, fly out, try to get heals. It's just the same thing, over and over and over. If we can fix that, you can be God. Or goddess. Okay, going in, playing with the team. Again, I would just kind of like to see you be at a different angle. You know, playing with the team isn't really necessarily bad here because they are funneled, but you could just stay up there if you really wanted to and maybe do some damage. I wouldn't stand here, be off-angled. Off-angle means you're in a spot where it's hard to hit you, but you can hit them, right? If you decide to hit here, you have to like do this over and over and it's hard for you to see. But if you do this, you can still stay visually on them and just kind of dip in and out. It's way easier to use cover that way. Make sense? Just putting down that damage. Nothing's actually wrong with this because you are charging your ultimate. Don't get me wrong, but it's just about being as impactful as possible. Sometimes it's better to take those off angles to be more impactful, making them psychologically focus you and think about, well, how do I play this situation? How we gotta deal with the Star Wars? It's way better to get them uncomfortable than it is to just kind of be there with your team, if that makes sense. If you can make them uncomfortable, you automatically win the game. Hands down. This is why flying characters have so much success, especially in low ranks. It's uncomfortable to play against them. You have to play in a certain way. You have to aim up. It's very uncomfortable if you're not used to it. You put them in that position. Okay, she ults. Don't even bother. Just let it be. I like this. Just back up. Let it be. I would like to see another reposition into a more advantageous position. Boom. What is it going to do? Have them look at you. Should you need to leave, you can. There's a little doorway right there. Boop. Go this way, regroup with your team. So when you reposition, I would like to see you reposition in more advantageous positions. Oh, hot. I love it. Don't like this particular spot because you're not getting the full view of them. Look, you're only getting, what, 3 or 4? If you go this way, break this thing. You go this way, you can see more of them, right? Now you can't really use any cover here because once you break this, your body's sticking out, but just angle wise, if you're gonna do that little back and forth thing, you get way more visual from here than you do from here. Especially once they get pushed up a little bit further, you can use this as a way to poke out like that. Just focus, just work more on your angles. I think it would help you a lot. Good job, I like the running. You run and then you die, that's funny. There's nothing to say about it. There's no reason to. It's just a small thing you'll improve on as you play. But I just thought it was funny. Don't ult until you see, okay. You got away with it? Oh, there's no more Loki. Okay. I thought Loki was still in the game. I was like, don't ult until you see him. Didn't accomplish anything other than getting a kill. Use his ult as you would use... That's a hard one. I'm not even gonna lie. Basically, use his ult as you would use... Yeah, okay. I'll use it this way. Use his ult as you would use your life. Would you rather trade 1 for 1 or 1 for 5? Wait for them to commit to a fight, then pop your ult. You'll get a lot more kills out of it. Be more creative with how you use it. You're not the only Star-Lord that does this. A lot of Star-Lord players just rip it. Be more creative about how you use it, and then you're going to be way more successful. You're going to be wiping a lot more. You got 2 kills there. But imagine they push up, and they're fighting your team, and they have no way to retreat. Where are they going to go? You just have all of them just KO'd instantly. Outside the box. Fair, keep going. This is like it's going to be a short round. Prime example, right here. You see how she just ulted? What are they going to do when she ults? Follow the trail, right? Push up. Right after the ult ends, and you positioned yourself well, like maybe right back here, in that doorway there. Then you rip the ult. Boom. Legendary. Brr, kill that guy. Brr, kill that guy. Brr, kill that guy. You wipe the whole fight. I usually wait till overtime to rip a Star-Lord ult though, if I can. Not like throughout the entire round, but if it's close to the end of the round, I'll just wait for it, because it's a very easy way to win a round. It's a cheeky way. They got overtime push. Oh wow, it's not over. They just overtime push it like crazy. You just overstayed. Your team died, so you might as well leave. But imagine if you just had ult and you just waited for it. You'd kill Jeff as he ults, right? Jeff can outrun your ult. Just keep that in mind. But like, if you do it right and you're on top of him or at an angle, you'll hit him. But you could have ulted that, ulted the rest, won the round. Instead of doing what we just did. Be more mindful about how you're using your abilities. Not even just your ult, but your flips, your spins, your fuel. Huh? Oh, wait, gaming? Oh, that's it. I like that. I noticed when overtime hits, you just go crazy. Don't let that be why you lose games. Sometimes just being a little bit more patient during overtime is very impactful. So my advice to you as the player is 2 things. The first thing is going to be try to reposition more often using the entire map and repositioning into more advantageous positions. That is something that's going to skyrocket your gameplay like that, I promise you. The other thing is paying attention to why you're going for a play. So every play that you're about to go for, whenever you decide to go crazy, turn around and look at everybody. I guarantee if you can embed that into your gameplay, you're going to notice how much easier it is for you to process the information in terms of what you should do and when you should do it. I promise you. So those are the 2 things that I think you should improve on if you want to reach goal. It's very easy to fix, and I guarantee you're going to skyrocket like that once you get it. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you're really learning something out of it, consider becoming a member by clicking that join button down below. Not only does it help the channel and the content that I create and with that support, but also you do get some perks and stuff along the way. And there's going to be more Marvel Rival perks down in the future. So check that out. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. We'll often.